Three, two, one, ghost. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 321 Ghost. I'm your host with a silent G, and as always, joined by my pal Natalie. Hey, Natalie. How are you?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
Fantastic. I am, we've been very clear we're elder millennials, and we are very much drawn to the 90s, like a metallic magnetic orb. I feel we're just constantly, no matter how far we dip out, we're always right back in. And I
hmm
mean, we've already started this month with, well, really just kind of a bookend 90s movies, right? We've
hmm
got Child's Play 2, of course, check that out, 1990. And today, just right before the turn of the millennium,
I
right?
knew it.
We've got not our first remake, nor our first Dark Castle movie,
No.
right?
hmm
And certainly not our first Jeffrey Combs movie.
No,
Not our first Bridget Wilson movie either, or Ali
that's
Larter.
true. Yeah.
All right. If y'all hadn't guessed or just saw the name of the episode, hey everybody, we're talking about 1999's House on Haunted Hill. Not to be confused with The Haunting or The Haunting of Hill House. Totally separate things. Though The Haunting, I think, was also, you know that one, right? With is that
It
Liam
came out
Neeson?
it came out the
Same
same
year.
year. Yeah.
That's so confusing. That's like
hmm
Ants in a Bug's Life coming out in the same year. It's like it's
Did
too
they come out in the
similar.
same year?
I think they
Ants
may
and a
have,
Bug's Life?
but I'm not going to check.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So, I never saw Ants, never saw Bug's Life, but I think I
I've seen
appreciate
both.
Bug's Life more basic, just on the, you know, I just like Dave Foley, so I was glad that, you know, he was starring in a
Ants
bug movie.
Ants is the
Yeah,
superior film.
is it really? I feel
Yeah,
like
I've seen both multiple
that's like
times.
saying Pinkerton's your favorite Weezer album. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just the alternative thing to say, like just to
Oh,
be that
geez.
guy in the
No,
room,
I
you know?
don't think so. I don't think that's a hot take.
It's the 90s. I had to mention Weezer, right?
Yep.
This movie has, it's very clear that it's starring Jeffrey Rush and
Yeah.
and then you start listing everybody else. I don't think I'd seen titles that do that.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Or
I like the
maybe,
opening. I like the opening credits of this though.
yeah, me too. It's really corny. It reminds me
hmm
of,
The music's fun.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like it.
sure. That's
I
one
like
way to
it.
put it. I mean, this music's bonkers, but
Yeah.
you got Jeffrey Rush. I know everyone likes Jeffrey Rush, right?
Yeah, he's great.
Um, oh my God, I'm gonna fuck this up. Famke Janssen.
Yeah, I think you said it right the first time because we did a movie with her too, the faculty.
You're right with the faculty. There you go.
Yeah.
You got Tay Diggs. Who doesn't love Tay Diggs?
Love him.
He does a very serviceable job in this movie. He doesn't
Oof, I don't know about that.
really, I don't think he's annoying or anything. And I don't think I think he could have been, hmm, I think
I think they
he
could have
brings
given
enough
him
life
more
to
to
it.
do.
I think so too. I wanted to learn more about the baseball situation,
hmm
right?
hmm
So, Ali Larter, who I mentioned, Bridget Wilson, who I absolutely love, probably one of the
Wow.
biggest crushes of my life in the
Oh
90s.
yeah.
Oh, between who I'm sure I've said the same thing during our I Know What You Did Last Summer episode, but that year, 1993, maybe
hmm
94, where it was Mortal Kombat and Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Oh, fucked me up.
Yeah.
So good.
Anyone who's attracted to women was attracted to Bridget Wilson, absolutely.
You've got Peter Gallagher, who I couldn't tell you anything else he's in, but you just see him in everything all the time. Do you
I
know what he's like
know.
famous for?
I was thinking that too. I know I feel like I've just known him from this for so long that I couldn't tell you what else he's been in, but I know I've seen him in other things too.
Wikipedia says he was in the OC. You know, we were the right age to grow up with the OC, but did not watch it.
Oh, I also know him from American Beauty. He's really good in that. It's not the
Oh,
best
right.
movie, but he's the other like real estate agent and he's really good at that.
Right.
hmm
And then you've got Chris Kattan, who really, comparing to
Don't
another
talk
Dark Castle
shit.
movie,
Don't
Chris,
talk shit on Chris Kattan.
Chris Kattan really plays like the Matthew Lillard 13 Ghosts role in this,
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay.
where he just comes in and is just already fucking over it like 3 minutes into the
Hmm.
movie, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay, everybody, this and this and this." He's so sassy, he's so catty.
I, I love it.
Yeah, okay. I think we might disagree. We'll see.
I think you just have beef with Chris Kattan and it's fine.
Chris Kattan is, I just can't think of anything I like him from or like him in necessarily or anything that stands out. And honestly,
Night at the
that
Roxbury.
I know that era in that era of Saturday Night Live, everyone says that the current season's always the worst the Saturday Night Live's ever been. But
Ugh,
I do think that like late 90s, early aughts, like I don't know. I
I
like a lot of
disagree.
them singularly, and I like a lot of them a lot more now. Like I used to not like what's her name? She was
Cherry
in
Terry,
Superstar.
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon. I used to
I was just
not
gonna
stand
start
Molly
listing
Shannon
them off.
and
I
her
love
whole
her.
situation. But now the things that I've seen her in the last like 5, 10 years or so, I was like, oh my gosh, I love Molly Shannon. She's
I think she's
fantastic.
fantastic. Yeah,
I think I've always liked Sherry O'Terry,
I love her.
but yeah. So, but that I don't know. So, but in this movie, I don't know. I like him okay. He's fine.
I like him.
But when I watch him now, I've seen him like it was like and they're talking about like this anniversary of Saturday Night Live that just happened. And I think I was
Hmm.
watching something on it. And I think there was some group interview and he was on it and he was talking to like Chris Parnell or something. I love Chris Parnell. He's great. Um,
Yeah.
and he just like seems like a soft-spoken, intelligent guy. And I'm like, maybe I just didn't vibe with what was working for you at the time, was clearly working
It's
for other
possible.
people.
Yeah,
So maybe Chris Kattan, maybe, you know, not feeling him is a me problem.
I think so.
And that's growth.
Yeah.
80 odd something episodes in, huh? Um, so this is a Dark Castle movie. I mean, famous for a lot of horror remakes.
I think the
Um,
third one that we've done now,
what House of Wax and 13
13
Ghosts?
Ghosts.
Yeah, yeah. When's your first time you watched this movie?
I'm pretty sure I saw this one in the theater. So it would have been what we would have been like 12 at the time. So I think this was a good year for the theater. So I'm pretty sure I saw this in a theater and gosh, I think I've seen this movie at least 15 times. I know cousin Vinny is highly anticipating this episode. So we watched this movie a lot as kids. So at least 15 times maybe as a kid and then I watch it every couple of years. I'll just put it on in the background.
This was a rental for me. And then
Mm,
it ended up in some bargain bin somewhere at a Walmart for like $5. You get that sometimes they've got
yeah,
the giant bins with like $5
love
DVDs.
those. I miss those.
So I picked that up and yeah, like I said, I don't think I've seen it 15 times, but I've seen it more than five, less than 10, somewhere in that.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, I don't know why it's not good.
Okay. I'll put a few cards on the table. It's not a good movie. I don't
Oh.
think it's a good movie. And some of these actors that are in this movie, normally I love, and I'm like, wow, y'all really are half-assing this. But I do love it. For some reason, I love it. I have so much fun when I watch it, except for the last 15 minutes. I enjoy everything except for that.
Yeah, the last 15 minutes are really bad. It's just they were just
Hmm.
like the 75 minutes and they were like, okay, I think we put people through enough. Can we get the ghost goo
Just have
out?
them
Let's go on.
run after a blob, like run from a blob, and we'll
Run
be
around, hop
fine.
out a window, you're good.
Mhm. Same as
Everyone
The
gets money at the
Haunting.
end. Yeah, I think it just depends on what mood I'm in this movie, but I'll wait for the boo scores to talk about that.
Okay.
Um, I also do want to shout out a couple industry legends. Um, Even if this is not their best work.
Okay.
But you can see some examples of it. The special effects in this movie, Gregory
Hmm.
Nicotero and Robert Kurtzman, both makeup industry legends. I mean, Gregory Nicotero, Day of the Dead, of course, is like a big one.
That's a good
The-
one.
which like that's my What's the word?
Your favorite zombie movie?
That's my maybe zombie hot take. The Day of the Dead's my favorite of his.
I don't think that that's a hot take. I think that's a great movie. It's not my favorite, but I do love it.
Um, they also worked on The Exorcist. They also did Death Becomes Her. This is also a
Hmm.
Robert Zemeckis produced movie, so I'm sure you got
Hmm.
some overlap there.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have really anything else to say. It didn't win any awards, clearly.
I don't think that
Um,
this was critically received like very
n-
well.
no,
Yeah. And it was a box office failure too.
it won some like bullshit like off-brand version of the Razzies. So like they weren't even like good enough or bad enough to be nominated for a Razzie. They're nominated for the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards for worst remake. Um,
Stinkers.
yeah.
What was it up against? Did you look?
Um, it's 1999. A lot of people were hating on Phantom Menace at the time.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of fucked up shade thrown at Blair Witch Project.
They were just the first one?
Yeah, yeah. They were saying how like the worst actress, worst actor, worst
Oh,
whatever,
I
whatever.
don't
And
think
I was
that's
like,
fair.
I don't think that's fair at all. I think that movie's
No,
was good when it came out and it holds up.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Hmm. That'd be a good one to do.
Mhm.
Just to get to Book of Shadows.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. I'm ready to hop into this movie. How about you?
Same. Let's do it.
So we start with this backstory of what happens in this hospital, right? Um, Allegedly, what was it? LA's most celebrated institute for the criminally insane. What, or something to that degree with that
Yeah.
TV, whatever,
Hmm.
um, that TV episode about it. And you've got your Jeffrey Combs, of course,
Uh,
our Jeffrey
looking
Combs,
great. He looks
looking
great
great.
as this creepy scientist or
1999.
creepy doctor.
Wasn't 99 I Still Know What You Did Last Summer? Or was it 98? I think it was 99.
I
Good year for
think it
him.
was 99. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jeffrey
Getting
Combs in
work.
this movie. Yeah. When he's like on the security cameras and he's like walking around
Oh
all
my God, I
like
love it.
beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop. You can put like this old fucking Nintendo music behind it.
He
It
might be the
sounds so
best
good.
part of this movie.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's an easy bar to hop over
Mhm.
and he did. With only like having like one line in the movie, too,
Yeah.
maybe. So, you've got this insane asylum where he's doing like a bunch of unnecessary surgery. Um, it's his name is Vonnegut or Vannegut,
They pronounce it Vanikit because but it's meant to be German.
but I was thinking, is it named Vonnegut because like he's literally cutting someone in the beginning, like he wants to cut.
I think so.
It's so dumb. It's like that's even worse than William Bloodworth.
Oh, I like William Bloodworth. This like I never noticed that before until you pointed it out, but it feels a little on the nose.
For all of the unnecessary surgery, there's really not a whole lot of security or sturdy windows, because
I
immediately
know.
all of these patients just riot all at once, just smashing through the windows. Um, for some reason, sexually assaulting the women
I knew
only,
it. I was
right?
like, you'd be so mad about the tits being out.
I'm sorry, they're very, and okay. I just need the tits to make sense. Make it make sense for me.
I mean, if they're insane and attacking people, maybe that would happen,
I need
you
to see
know?
one dude's shorts come down.
One dick. We need to see at least one dick in the wind.
And it's not like I would need to see it for me. I think I need to see it for justice, right?
It's okay if you want to see it for you. I throw all the body parts out. Let's do it.
So so they end up setting this place on fire. And everybody allegedly dies in the inside, except for five staff members. We'll get there. Vanikit
Hmm.
is not one of them. He
He's not
perishes.
one of them. Yeah.
And then the reason so many people died in that fire is there is a security system that, basically just puts iron shades down and essentially just locks
Locks
everybody
everybody
in.
in. Yeah.
So,
Feels like an odd choice, but okay.
yeah. So, since then, I don't know why it would be restored to a house, and I don't think it even mentions who's ever lived in that house.
No, I don't think anyone actually ever lived in it. Like it was Pritchett's family inherited it, and then his grandfather and dad were trying to turn it into a house, but they hadn't finished
That's a
because
big ass
accidents
fucking
kept
house.
happening. Yeah.
Even for big houses, like that's
Yeah, it would be too much. It could be like an apartment building, I think.
yeah.
Hmm.
Right? It's like you have this ability, right? And there's probably easy zoning requirements because I'm sure whatever governing municipalities probably like, do whatever you want with that haunted ass fucking place. Let's
Yeah.
we'll encourage development for someone to take that place down and turn it into
Yeah,
whatever. And then
absolutely.
you have the opportunity to use all that space to build, God forbid, affordable housing. And no, some asshole's like, what if we just turn this into the most obnoxious mansion you can possibly come up with? That I had
Rich
no
people can just
idea.
rent for parties.
Yeah, they were just going to turn, literally, they just turned into an Airbnb.
Yeah,
God damn.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's fucking country, Natalie. I did forget our two strange cameos in this movie
Mm.
that show up. I'm sorry. This is the part where you could just delete this whole scene. You do not need it. There's no
Okay.
reason for it.
I
But
disagree.
but that being said, I do appreciate that. I like roller coasters. It's been a while, and I don't know. I'm kind of afraid that my back won't be able to take it this time around. But I like roller coasters. I like the idea of this just this, yeah, Willy Wonka of amusement parks kind of situation
Hmm.
with Mr. Price. And Jeffrey Rush, he does hand that up.
He really does.
He's
His
my
acting
favorite
is the
performance,
best.
yeah,
Yeah,
of the main cast,
for sure.
definitely.
Hmm.
But you've got Lisa Loeb.
I know. What, like, did she act for a minute or was it just this?
She pops up in random cameos, and oh my God, I can't remember. She may have shown up randomly in a movie that we've talked about. I don't remember, but
What?
I'll have to think about that. And then you got James Marsters.
Mm, yes, we do. That's why this scene cannot be deleted.
And he's
So
like, sorry,
sorry.
this is the only haircut I'm legally allowed to have right now.
Yeah.
So we're keeping it.
Absolutely. Yep. Looking fine as ever.
So was he still using his American accent? I don't think he said much. I think maybe he was using an American accent though. Not that it
He is
matters.
American.
Is he?
Yeah. The British accent is not his accent.
That is the most British looking American dude I've ever seen in my
I
life.
know, right? Good pick. Good
Okay.
casting.
Huh.
And then
Wow.
fun fact, the guy who is the like roller coaster technician and shows up at the house and is in the little control room, he was also on Angel too. So there's a double like Buffy Angel connection. Fun.
There, there you go. Everyone listening at home.
Yeah.
Keeping score, I hope.
Uh-huh.
So he wants to demonstrate this new roller coaster, which is I forget. This is a real life roller coaster. I mean, it doesn't like do the Final
It's
Destination thing like this, but
it's the Incredible Hulk roller coaster in Orlando, Florida. I looked that up because I was so curious.
going to Orlando as a kid just seemed like this like
Magical
Mecca.
place.
Yeah, like growing up watching like Nickelodeon and Los Studios
Uh-huh.
and then you got Disney World and then you got like
Mhm.
all the other amusement parks and shit and it just looks like it's just beautiful summer all the time like Orlando like oh my gosh. And I would like watch like random Magic games. Love Horace Grant. So as a kid they really pushed Orlando. So shout
They
out
really did. Yeah.
Orlando.
You'd see it on the television constantly.
Yeah. So Lisa Loeb is, I think, some news reporter, and James
Hmm.
Marsters is the camera guy, and they want to learn. They're interviewing Mr. Price about his new roller coaster, which is called like
Terror Incognito.
Terror Incognito. Yes. even though it's right there. I don't know what it's hiding from, and it's broad daylight, so it's a strange name.
Because of the tricks.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that makes it incognito, technically. I guess when I
Mhm.
think incognito, I think like trench coat and big hat, like hiding in a corner kind of
Oh, well, I mean,
situation.
you don't have to go that far to be incognito.
Using a fake business card, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's like, "Hey, y'all, let me show you. This is the greatest thing ever." They're just like, "Hey, we're here for the ride." It's probably a pretty fun gig for a news reporter, I would think.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So they go up this elevator. Basically, it's their Tower of Terror, essentially.
Hmm.
And then you learn about Mr. Price is that he's a little bit of a trickster. He doesn't like to tell you everything that's going on, and that's important for later.
Yeah.
So they start taking the elevator all the way to the top, or at least you think they are, right? Because this is
Hmm.
supposed to be some sort of like optical illusion that they're going up.
Well, no, they are going up. That's where the elevator, that's where the roller coaster starts, is at the top, he said.
Okay, but they didn't actually plummet in that elevator.
No, it's like it's one of those like the Tower of Terror, doesn't it? Like whoosh, down really fast.
No, they did not do that like in an actual elevator. I thought it was a situation like the Simpsons ride where, it's all stationary, or I guess not Simpsons ride. If you've been to Disneyland, it's the Star Wars one.
I don't
Star Tours
I think it actually is like a dropping like ride.
with his like camera equipment and like no like safety
Sure.
things. You can't do that. That's so
I
dumb.
don't know.
I was trying to give this movie benefit of the doubt, thinking that like, oh, it's some sort of like optical illusion or like they're like a screen of them thinking they're falling and then they shake the elevator or whatever.
I mean, I guess it could be that because it does like do the little Terror Incognito like logo at the end.
Well, yeah, then okay, then I gotta be
I
right.
don't know. I don't know about that.
But that's not the end of the tricks.
Mm-mm.
They go on to this roller coaster. He sends them off. And in the meantime, Mr. Price is getting a call from his wife, Evelyn. These two are too much for me. It's so exhausting. It's the
I
most exhausting part of this movie.
I love all of the communication between the two of them. It's so stupid and just over the top. I love it.
Yeah, oh
I
geez,
think we enjoy different things about this movie.
probably. So like they hate each other from the get-go and are
Oh
just
yeah.
being terrible to one another. Um, she has an idea for her birthday and he's gonna make it happen, I guess.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, you've got Lisa Loeb and James Marsters on this roller coaster that does a fake out Final Destination situation where like they'll see like the car, the coaster train. I don't know. What do you call like a bunch of little
Cart?
they
The
carts?
cart? I think it's a cart.
And then when they're
How,
all like interlocked together
like
in
how
one
does that
little
work though logistically? Like how many of those are there and how do they get them back? Like where do they fly to?
that's what I was thinking. I was like, where did they go?
Where do
Like I
they
see
go? How are they okay? Like how do
on
we reuse them?
it doesn't. It all just
It's
goes
a
into
pile of them that just adds up.
to be fair, I've done something similar in Roller Coaster Tycoon and where you just send people off.
Everyone has.
Yeah. We're all terrible. Roller Coaster Tycoon really brought out the
The
sadistic parts
worst
of
in
all of us.
people.
Yeah. So yeah, because
But
I'm like,
how many times could this work though? Because once people find out about it, then like it's over. The trick doesn't work anymore.
Hmm, that is true. I never watched The Sixth Sense for a second time.
Oh, it's better the second time.
Well, I'll see. There you go. You answered your own question. Maybe
That's
it's better
different.
if you know what how the hot dog's made. I don't know. Okay, where are we? So that's the last we see of Lisa Loeb and James Marsters. Goodbye.
I know. Shame.
Yeah. So you have Mr. Price who's at home, and he is putting together a guest list for his wife's birthday party. that is going to be at this asylum,
Hmm. Her
which is
choice.
since, yeah, her choice. Then you have this kind of montage of seeing everybody roll up. Um, gives me Clue vibes. I like this.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if this scratches like the dinner party itch a little bit.
It does. It does. So
I
it
agree.
does get a half a boot for that.
Yeah.
So you have everybody coming up, which is what you've got Blackburn, who's the doctor. You
Hmm.
have Melissa,
Hmm.
who is Bridget Wilson, right? Who's
Hmm.
this like um
Washed up
washed
TV
up
star.
TV. Yeah. So trying to get her way back in. And she's like maybe
Mhm.
and to be fair, like kind of reality game show kind of situation, like coming and winning money in a haunted house, like that
Yeah.
was pretty popular at that time and still is
Mhm.
probably to some extent,
She
right?
definitely could have done a better job filming things though, because she just would put that camera down constantly. And then something exciting would happen. And she'd be like, oh shit,
Well,
I should film this.
She's not Lisa Loeb. She can't afford a James Marsters to roll with her. It'd be funny if it were James Marsters. He'd be like, sorry, I'm the town's only cameraman, so
Yeah.
here I am. You've got Eddie, who is a former Major League Baseball player. And then you've got who you think for like 15 minutes is Jennifer
Hmm.
Jensen or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
I can't
actually
believe that's even a
Sarah.
real person because that's a fake ass fucking name. I'd like if you
I
told me walked up and
know.
said, "Oh, my name is Jennifer Jensen," I'd be like, "You're fucking full of shit." No,
You're
it's not.
you're a cartoon character. Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
So, um, we're seeing with these montages of everyone rolling up, like in the side of the screen, um, different passages of this invitation, offering
Hmm.
everybody $1 million if they can stay the night in this haunted asylum turned house turned Airbnb.
Is such a weird concept. Like what is Mr. Price getting out of this?
Well, I mean, I guess her wife wants to do, or his wife wants to do like a murder mystery, right?
Yeah, but he invited a different guest list and
And
came
then
up
even
with
then,
different rules. And I know, the spooky computer made the newest guest list, but I just don't understand what it because he puts like fake, things to scare them apparently, which we don't see any of, which is bullshit.
mostly
But
it was like rocks falling or the glass shattering, I think was.
I don't think that was him.
Huh. Yeah, it was really fuzzy.
Yeah, but either way, he knows they're all going to survive the night. So you're really going to give away $5 million or $6 million for nothing?
Yeah, right? So Mr. Price has
Because he's mostly
mm,
fucking with Evelyn, but he could do that
yeah,
without offering them $1 million
each plus
each,
whatever Pritchard gets. By the
which
way,
is
Pritchard
definitely less
is
than a million.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Pritchard is Chris Kattan. He is the son of the architect of this situation. Or they inherited it, right? And then
Yeah. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess the owner.
Got it, got it, got it. So as they're getting acquainted in the front room, Mrs. Price comes down the stairs and she's like, "Who the fuck are all of you people? You
Hmm.
are not my friends. I did not invite any of you." Which, I mean, sounds kind of fucked up. Like, if someone was like putting a party together for you and they're just like, "Oh, don't worry, I got it. Like, I got the guest list."
I'd be furious.
Yeah. But then still, oh no, never mind. Those are the ghosts. It's a very strange coincidence that she is having an affair with someone who is also a descendant of one of the five survivors with Blackburn.
No, she's
Are you
not.
sure?
He's not on the list. He wasn't on the list, and he's not. There's six of them, and there were five survivors. Sarah
Oh,
points it out at the end. She's like, wait, like there's no Blackburn on
okay.
this, yeah, photo. So yeah, he tagged along. Like he already knew about the party.
Right, right. But the house doesn't seem to care if you're one of their survivors or not. They're just like, well, if you're here, we're
Hmm.
going to murder you. So,
Yeah, for sure.
right. So yeah, I couldn't tell if this was part of the show or whatever, but yeah, that glass shatters and like
Hmm.
falls, Eddie jumps across and like, I don't know, it doesn't really help her because I mean,
Yeah. He
I don't
pushes her
know.
almost into the glass.
Yeah. Yeah, Eddie's not exactly the most helpful person,
No,
but
he's
that's
literally
okay.
just throws people around when danger is afoot.
And then Price, who thought he was being clever, having deleted her invite list and created his own,
Mhm.
is like, I don't even actually know who the fuck these people are either.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah. Well, and when they're all introducing themselves, I think this is probably the worst. Well, no, it kind of goes throughout the movie, but the dialogue is just so bad. Um, it's it's not convincing that these are real people having a conversation in this type of scenario. I have to point that out because I'll say a lot of nice things about this movie, but oof, some rough lines and some rough line delivery.
You also have the guy that you saw in the beginning, who you said I guess was an angel at some point, watching all the security cameras and setting up
Mm,
all the little traps and fun little explosions and such. Which I'm
mhm.
like, if it was even exploding walls and like shattering the glass, first of all, like, are you renting this place or do you own it now? Because you're like
I mean,
really fucking up the place.
he's so rich, he probably would just pay for the damages.
Allegedly, that not that mirror, I guess it's what do you call it? That like stained glass in
Hmm.
the top did not look like mid-century, but
No, it did not. It looked very late 90s.
so Price is like, well, I didn't I did not invite any of you, so that's strange. But like I said, roll with it.
Yeah, he's
So
like, whatever.
let me remind you of the rules. And he makes it clear that there's $1 million each,
Hmm.
and you also have to survive the night, by the way.
Hmm.
Anyone
And you get to
who,
split the money if someone dies.
yeah, so if
Hmm.
you are the sole survivor, you get 5 million, easy.
Hmm. Nice.
Richard's like, no, I'm not doing this. Get the fuck out of here. No,
Like,
just
I'll
give me
just
my
take my
money.
check.
I brought them here. So already I'm like, oh man, you're already an accomplice in this. That's why I'm like, fuck Chris Kattan. That's why he kind of deserves
Well,
dying at
I
the end.
mean, he know
But he
if he
does redeem
knows how
himself.
dangerous he does, but if he knows how dangerous that house is, like, does it really seem cool to like let a bunch of people just walk into their deaths?
He's like Matthew Lillard in 13 Ghosts. I'm like, how
Mm,
fucking crazy this house is. Like,
yeah,
why?
that's true.
I don't know. So,
Very true.
and just like 13 Ghosts, this house goes into lockdown.
Yeah, he
As
shouldn't have
Pritchard's,
even gone in the house if he was that scared. I would have stood in that doorway
yeah.
and been like, "I'm gonna need that check before you walk through the threshold of the door. Peace
Um,
out."
Whatever offer he even made, I'd be like, I need that shit in writing. I need that shit notarized. I need that shit reviewed by my lawyer. And you can mail that check to me. And if it doesn't come,
Yeah, he could have hired
you'll,
someone to
yeah,
escort them to the house.
yeah, easy.
Yeah.
So no phones, no cell phones.
Mhm.
No, that's working. And they're just like, all right, well, I guess we gotta find a way out. Which I'm like,
You
why find a way out if the whole point is to stay in there for the night? You've already kind of committed to that.
and there's people coming in the morning, which we already know. I wondered the same thing. This whole movie probably could have been avoided if they all just stayed in that remodeled area.
Yeah, they just keep going downstairs. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, just stay in the nice area with the fireplace and the bar.
Here's an idea.
Have
Just
a nice evening.
stay out of the room with the sanatorium machine in it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like, yeah,
Just a thought.
don't go where the creepy burned fucking anatomy statues are. Like just stay in the safe space.
Well, because they're spending their time going downstairs thinking that that's where they're going to find whatever mechanism overrides the security,
Hmm.
system, but it ends up being upstairs.
In the attic of like
Yeah.
the highest upstairs.
Yeah. So, and then also just in this house, like I just had no idea where anything was. Like, no, like I
Like where
understand it's like supposed to be
Evelyn's
a
room
maze.
was
Yeah.
in regards to like the rest of the house, because they really only show that one room up the stairs. They don't show them going anywhere else upstairs. So that feels silly.
So, fucking, you still have, Price and Evelyn arguing at each other. Jesus Christ. Have you ever been at a party? where maybe have you ever been at a party where a couple is like clearly fighting?
I've hosted a party where I'm the couple that's clearly fighting.
I see that's why I kind of paused for a second. I was like,
Because
I
you were
thought you
like,
were.
wait, have I been at one of those parties? You were like, I have, and it was you.
Like you were the couple.
You
Yeah.
pause. Yeah, for sure. It's super awkward either way.
Yeah, it's just it's not good for everybody. Now,
Mm-mm.
I don't think you were offering $1 million each at your party,
No,
probably
so
not.
that really, I mean, I could put up with a lot if someone was offering me $1 million to make it through the night and there was a fighting couple.
Yeah. Like I would just want to talk shit like when they're not around. I don't know.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Just have
Get your
fun with it.
$1 million, drink a little, talk a little shit.
So Sarah and Eddie are like, "Hey, let's go down to the basement and solve this." Sometime after they don't before they go down, Mrs. Price says like again like in this really just like angry, shitty, catty way. She's like, "Oh, should we look at the party favors or something
Yeah.
like that?"
Yeah, yeah.
And again, very much like Clue. I was like, "Okay, the first one was a gun because they're oh well, one in these cute like floating little coffins."
I love
I
like the big coffin with the baby coffins with the little
I
guns inside.
I love that. Now,
Yeah.
I was hoping I knew it wouldn't happen, right? But oh gosh, the first one's a gun. Second one was like, be a lead pipe, be a lead pipe, be a lead
Yeah.
pipe.
Candlestick.
Love that shit. I've been I don't know if this is sad or not, but there is a video game version of Clue, like a current one.
Hmm.
And I've been it was like on Steam for like $5 or something. So I was like, fuck it,
Hmm.
I'll buy it. And I've been playing like rounds of Clue by myself. Like I've done probably like 20 of them. Is that insane?
I don't think it's insane for someone who loves Clue as much as you do,
Thank
but
you.
it's a one person game, I'm assuming then.
No, no, no. It's like it's me. Well, it's me and I get to pick whatever character I want to be, right? And
Yeah.
then usually I'll pick like three like AI characters to play
Oh,
against.
okay.
So,
Oh, okay.
okay.
That's not too bad. I mean, it's not the most like you shouldn't be like super proud about it, but you don't need to be ashamed either.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Happy middle ground.
So, and all these party favors are handguns for everybody. In case people just want to take matters in their own hands, turn on each
I
other.
know. I was like, do we feel like that's a smart idea?
Um, Mr. Bryson swears that there's blanks in all of these,
Uh-huh.
but we find out that's not true, or the ghosts changed them out.
I think the ghosts changed them out. And that's why they were welded shut
Right.
because he had put the blanks in there.
So these cute little party favors with these guns inside, love them. Everyone's like, okay, let's arm ourselves. Sweet. Evelyn's like, maybe I do shoot Price right in the fucking face. I could just do it now, but
Hmm.
then she's like, oh wait, I've
Yeah.
got I've got
More
a far
witnesses.
more exhaustingly convoluted plan
Yeah.
than just shooting you in the head.
Yeah.
So,
Could have even done
well,
it like in the basement with no one around too.
oh my gosh. So Sarah and Eddie head downstairs with Pritchett, and then they find like I don't know these like weird, waxy, melty human and cannibal corpses that are inside
They're
these.
I thought they were like like in science class where you have those statues that are like half a person full
Uh,
and then half like an open person where you can see the muscles and like the innards and all of that, all the organs, but they melted from the fire, so they look extra creepy.
that's what it is. And then
Yeah.
like, but it's like a horse, right?
I don't know why the horse is there.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't tell if that was like a cat or a baby,
I
the
think it's a
smaller
baby
one.
that looks like a cat because it was burned.
So Price goes upstairs to where the security guy is, and he's like, "Hey, what the fuck, man? You got to let me know if you're gonna put this place on lockdown. Like, I need to, I am the Wonka here, right? I call the shots." The security guy says, like, "I didn't do it, man. I don't know what to tell you. Someone else set it off."
Yeah.
So Bryce thinks it's Evelyn because who else would be
Of
just that
course.
unnecessarily aggressive?
Yeah.
Um, and then Price then goes and meets, just bypasses all of them, goes straight down to the basement,
Hmm.
where also you're saying where a lot of these medical experiments and shock therapies and sanatorium shit was going on. But he
Hmm.
goes down and meets Eddie and Pritchard and, geez, I'm gonna get everyone's names right, Sarah
Yeah,
or
you
or
did it.
Jennifer, however you want. I don't think
Yeah.
she reveals herself as
Right
Sarah
now
quite
she's
yet.
Jennifer still.
Right. So they start exploring, they start finding all these like torture rooms. Um, while trying to find an exit, they find this. I'm sorry, I've been calling it sanatorium, a saturation chamber.
Oh, sanatorium felt right, but I guess it is the saturation chamber. Yeah. I like the saturation chamber.
Yeah. So not a sanatorium, sorry.
What
But
is a sanatorium? Now
that
I'm
is a
like, what the
thing.
fuck? What is it?
I had to look it up. It's an establishment for the medical treatment of people who are convalescing or have a chronic illness.
Oh, so like a nursing home?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, whatever. It's not the dumbest thing for me to say. I've
No,
said
it's
dumber
not.
things.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're trying to find the exit, and yeah, they find the saturation chamber, which Pritchett's like, well, best guess is, you know how like seeing a bunch of crazy shit turns sane people crazy? If you show a bunch of crazy shit to crazy people, turns them sane. And
That
he just
was the
kind of shrugs.
theory.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
theory, but it's not a
It's a
very good
terrible
theory.
theory.
That's a
If only it were that easy.
that's a pretty wobbly theory to invest that much in that machine that is
Yeah.
just fucking Vanikit just dribbling a basketball.
I think in a suit too.
Yeah.
I think he knew that that approach wasn't going to work and he just wanted to put people in a fun machine that does creepy things.
So while they're checking out all these torture rooms, Eddie and Sarah get separated from Price and Pritchett.
Hmm.
Um,
I like how
Sa
people just disappear in the hallways, like as you're walking through. I think that's kind of fun.
yeah. So Sarah's like, "Hey," or well, Jennifer, whatever. You all know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
We're all friends here, right?
Just call her Allie Larder.
Allie Larder, River shows up and she's like, "Oh, there's some dusty old wires. Watch me." And then starts fiddling with them and is able to basically just kind of put two of them together.
Makes no
Um,
sense.
I like how she's just like, see, better, right? But like literally all it turned into was from like a dark hallway to a dark hallway with like flickering creepy lights. I was like, nah, I think
They
this looks
don't
worse.
illuminate. Yeah, they don't
No.
illuminate the hallway. It just makes it creepier.
Eddie's like, no woman knows how to do that. Let alone no executive woman. Get out of here.
Yeah. He's like, what the
Who are
fuck's your
you?
story?
Yeah. And then they almost have kind of a cute moment until he starts questioning her.
Yeah.
Um, and she's like, "Hey, let's go. I'm not gonna say shit." They start walking,
Hmm.
and then she's like, "You know what? I'm gonna tell you because you're cute,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
let's double up here. Let's turn a negative like this shitty job into like a lot of positives. I can find
Hmm.
myself a man. I can get
Yeah. A
up to $5 million
hot
dollars.
man. Tay
Yeah.
Diggs? In
And
the 90s? Mm.
if everything works right, you'd have $5 million dollars between you and this new man you got, right?
Yeah,
See, it's
things are
okay.
going well.
Or just kill him at the end of the night if you got what you needed out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
get
you
what you
go.
need and then kill him.
Yeah. Love that. So she, considering all of this, she starts saying, you know what? Jennifer Jensen is not my name. I am Sarah something something. And
Mhm.
I'm actually her assistant. I fucking hate her. Maybe she got fired. I
Yeah,
forget.
it
Maybe
sounded like
not.
she got fired.
And so she took her spot essentially.
Hmm.
But it's so weird. Like, so she was counting on the fact that no one would know who Jennifer Jensen was when she showed up. Because
Hmm.
to her, as far as she knew, this she was just getting invited to some party. You'd think she'd be invited by
Oh,
someone she
shit.
knew, right? So
Yeah,
that
you're
makes
right.
no sense. On top
You are
of that,
absolutely right. I mean,
when
worth a
Price
shot, though.
is it? Like, so when Price is writing out the checks to everybody, he's
No,
and
they're
everyone
made
starts
of
saying their names.
cash.
Was he making him the cash then? I thought he was writing people's names
Anyone
on
can
it.
cash that check. No, he was writing
Mm,
cash.
okay.
Hmm.
Fuck. It's terrible. So
Yeah, very convenient.
I don't think, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll get there at the end.
Because I mean, if people are, he can't make the checks out to those specific names because if people are dying and they did,
I think I
then
was speak
how are they going to cash them?
I think I was getting confused because he was asking them what their names were as he was filling out these
Mm,
checks.
okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So Eddie wants to know who she really is, and she's like, okay, yeah, here's who I am, blah blah blah. But while she's finishing all of that, she realized Eddie's gone.
Mm. I'd be so, she sounds legit scared when she notices that he's gone. I'd be fucking terrified.
Oh, Jesus. And then you see, like, you don't see Eddie, at least at first. You see, like, some figure walk in the background. Maybe that is Eddie. Um, she's walking around and she's like, dude, like, she's like, I let my guard down for half a goddamn second.
Yeah.
And this dude's
Yep.
an asshole, like every other asshole. God damn it. Just
Hmm.
trying to play ghost tricks on me, just like the last three boyfriends, every single time. And
Every
she ends
time
up
I open my heart.
every time I open my heart, goddamn ghost tricks. I hate it. So she does see Eddie at the end of the hallway, and then he looks over, but this is like almost like it looks like Eddie about to turn into a werewolf. He's got that glow in his
Yeah,
eyes,
that like glow in his eyes because he's fucking
like
haunted as shit.
like thriller eyes or something.
Mm, yeah.
And he starts walking out into, I don't know, is like a room of like dirty sinks and that cage with the flapping ghosts inside it. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. The rooms are very odd.
Yeah. So she follows him in there, and then to see him standing over this vat of blood,
Hmm.
sure. And she's like, Eddie, what the
Giant.
fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't remember if he says anything, but
No.
he just steps right in, jumps into this vat of blood.
Ugh.
She comes running over. She's like, what the fuck's going on? She starts reaching in. She grabbed onto something, or something grabbed onto her, and
Yeah.
she's
No,
pulling
those
on
are full
that.
on arms. Yeah.
Yeah, just, oh, Jesus. Were they, I couldn't tell. Were their arms coming out like she was
Yeah.
pulling up?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like pulling on arms.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucked up. So
Mm.
she's in the middle of doing all of this, and then Eddie walks up. He's like, what's going on?
The fuck you doing? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good scare. I think that's pretty fun.
it's a good one. He does nothing to help her.
Yeah.
Again, Eddie, come on.
Yeah.
So, because she manages to get herself out, and she's just like, what
Hmm.
the fuck? Her arms are just covered in just blood gunk.
I'd
Ugh,
be
that
terrified.
shit's gonna get all
Yeah.
thick and gross and
Ugh.
coagulated and shit.
Yeah,
Ugh.
gross. Ugh.
Awful. Everybody runs upstairs to reconvene. You've got, yeah, wherever Pritchard and Price were, they made their way
Hmm.
back up. Pritchard explains again. He's just starts drinking. He's just like, I told you all, like again, doing his Matthew Lillard thing. He's like,
Yeah. Just pulls the whole
ghosts,
bottle.
ghosts, Arthur.
Yeah.
And this place is haunted. I don't know what it is. It's just some dark ass energy. It
And the
fucking
ghosts
killed.
are all in the basement again.
They're all in the basement. Just
Hmm.
leave them the fuck alone. Like we're all gonna fucking die here.
Hmm.
Blah 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 blah. And then you've got both the prices that are still acting like the other is just
Yeah.
putting this on as a ruse.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out who's up to what. I do like Evelyn says something about like SP, like his initials, and he says SP as in sorry, Petunia. It's the stupidest line.
I also thought it was interesting. She like doesn't outright accuse him, but she keeps like insinuating
Oh, that he's gay.
that he's gay or bisexual.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
or
mean,
is that
maybe he
just,
is. And she's, just
well, that's
saying
what
it
I
to
was
say it.
thinking. Is it either that or if it was like, I don't know, like I wasn't sure it was coming off of this because she always comes off as so like insulting to him. Like I was like, is
Hmm.
this just like homophobia? I don't know. But
I don't know. know. I mean, if they hate each other that much and he accuses her of sleeping with everyone, which means he probably isn't, but he's definitely not fucking her. So, could be.
Yeah. I was like, if he's just fucking some
She
guys,
could
I'm
be
like,
a,
ah, well,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
she
but
could
it's
be a
being,
beard.
yeah. So is that what they call it?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
You ever heard that before?
Maybe, probably. So while everyone's talking about blood vats and the security system and no one's getting out alive, um, Melissa's like, I'm going to take this opportunity to separate myself from the rest of the group, go right back
Mm,
downstairs
so
where
dumb.
everyone said all the horrifying shit is.
Yeah.
Um, and just be like, hey,
And
this
not
is
tell
my,
anyone.
yeah,
Just
not tell
go in.
anyone.
Yeah.
Yep. Just this is my in.
Hmm.
I brought it up on some other episode before, but just reminds me just of that MTV show where they stayed in haunted houses. And it was kind of a game show, like who
Oh,
could stay the night.
yes. What was it called?
I think it might just be called like Haunted or Scared Silly or something.
It was I watched that show a little bit. I don't think it lasted very long.
It was called Fear.
Yes, Fear.
Yeah. I think if I watched that again, I'd be really upset.
Did you remember the name or did you look it up?
I looked it up.
Okay, good job.
So she goes downstairs with her camera, filming around the place. And this is probably the most memorable scare of this movie is
The
right
camera
before her
trick.
death. Yeah, because
It's
that
pretty fun.
it must have been in the trailer, right? So I think I remember seeing it there too.
Yeah, that which is lame that they did that, but I really do enjoy it because she first sees it in the camera,
Yeah.
looks up and sees nothing, and then looks back in the camera and they're there again, but then they all look at her. Ugh,
Ugh,
gross. I don't like that at all. Mm-mm.
that's fucked up.
You know you're dead now.
And then yeah, they fucked her up. She's dead. She's real dead.
They really fucked her up. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fake out deaths in this movie, but she was very dead first try.
Hmm. Yeah.
Done. You'll see you'll see bits of her
Ugh.
later.
Yes, you will.
Yeah. So they hear this scream coming from downstairs. They all run down. They find the camera that's a little cracked, a little messed up, and then he finds just this puddle of blood that
Oh
just has a
God.
trail that just leads right into the wall.
Yeah, up doesn't it go like up the ceiling too? It's like very Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, like yeah, up the ceiling and then yeah,
Yeah.
into the wall.
And Sarah's on board like so fast now, like when they're like, where did she go? And she's like, Into the house, obviously."
House got her.
Yeah.
So they have the camera at least. They were able to get some footage of it. And like really you don't see anything, but you just see her basically already dead on the ground and
Hmm.
then her getting screamed and pulled or screaming and getting pulled away.
Nice little hand twitching situation too, where like they're like cutting into her and her hand is kind of like wiggling on the camera, which is fun.
I would have liked to have more of her in this movie,
Yeah, I agree.
even if it meant delaying the first death.
Hmm.
Right?
Or could we have switched Bridget Wilson with Allie Larder?
Yeah, 100%.
Hmm.
Not to knock Allie Larder.
No, but Bridget Wilson is very fun.
Yeah. Mrs. Price is like, I'm not fucking having this. She grabs this gun and she's just like, y'all are trying to kill me. I don't, which she kind of jumps to that conclusion that they're all trying to kill her. I think she's just really, whoever smelt it dealt it kind of situation, right? Where
Yeah.
she's the one that's plotting murder here tonight. So
Hmm.
she must think that Price knows and
Yeah.
I don't know, is like creating this fun house to kill her
I
and
mean,
random people.
though
I don't know.
he does know though, because he says that he like heard everything that they had like talked about and he knew that they were like together before that house incident too. He reveals that at the end.
She pulls out her gun and is like, I'm gonna shoot you in the fucking face. He's like, you ain't gonna shoot me. And also there's blanks in that. Turns
Hmm.
out that's not true. Someone switched him out.
Ooh, scary.
Uh-oh. Good thing she doesn't have good aim.
I know. Yeah. Thank goodness for that.
So she's like, I'm going upstairs. None of you fucking come near me. I'm gonna be locked in my bedroom. I'll see y'all in the morning, right? So she
Hmm.
goes.
Smart.
Yeah. Pritchett's like, I'm just gonna keep drinking. Don't even worry about me. Price goes up to see his security guy, right?
Hmm.
Only to find this is good makeup effect.
Yeah.
Finding his face is just essentially just scooped the fuck out.
Yeah, just a little scoop. I would have loved to have seen what happened to him.
Yeah, just
How did he
hollowed
get
out.
scooped?
I just like with the spoon, I would
Just
think.
a giant ass spoon just right in his fucking face.
Yes, right in his face, just scooping out the middle.
Almost
Oh,
looks like an ice
Jesus.
cream scooper. Like a
Yeah, a little
big,
bit.
because it's a perfect little, or like the, what do you call those things that you use for melons? Like it makes the perfect little round circles,
Mm,
melon ballers or something like that.
maybe. I think
That's my
so.
guess. That's my guess for the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have
So,
been any of those kitchen utensils.
meanwhile, Price looks at this like, these multiple security feed screens, finds, Jeffrey Combs, like I said, walking around at like 2 frames per
Little
second.
robot.
Yeah, it's real funny. Um, and then you have Mrs. Price, who looks dead in her bedroom,
No, I think she's just sleeping.
just sleeping. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Mhm.
I was like, wait, did she like fake her death twice or something? I didn't
Mm-mm.
know what was going on. So she's still in her room, and he's like, okay, shit's really fucking weird. This dude's really dead, and I did not come up with this.
Yeah. And who the fuck is that doctor?
And then I think this is when they start hearing the electroshock machine.
Hmm.
They start running downstairs. And then, yeah, so all of a sudden, like he sees his wife on the camera, and I don't know how much time lapses between
Yeah, like what the turnaround time is there.
because she's got to get downstairs around everyone else, unless there's some secret
Hmm.
passage that they never talk about,
Maybe.
and get down into that place. I would think if she turns it on herself or Blackburn has to do it, then get back upstairs. I was
I
not understanding this.
I didn't understand how the machine started and like how she was set up in there. I'm assuming Blackburn had to have assisted her. But I think there's more time in between that shot of him seeing her sleeping and that incident happening than you think because he says that he's been running around looking for some guy in a white coat or like a doctor or something. So I think he left that control room and immediately started looking for Jeffrey Combs. And so there's enough time passed that that could have all happened.
Okay. I believe you.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
So they run downstairs, they find this machine on, and they see Evelyn on this chair strapped in, or on this bed, table, whatever, strapped into this electroshock machine. Which did it kill her? Like, and then he brought her back to life, or like was the machine rigged ahead of time by them to like not kill her, just make a bunch of lights and flashing noises?
They make a comment about her taking some sort of drug. I think that she was already dead when they turned on that machine. Like it's something that like slows her heart rate to a certain like or something or kills her because he like explains it with like half-ass movie science.
Yeah. And, I know he gives her something to kind of bring her back,
So
like some
she
sort of
is a
like
little
adrenaline
dead.
shot or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like also kind of like Clue, where spoiler alert, like Professor Plum says Mr. Body's dead when he's not really dead, only to kill him again later. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So Price is pretty mad. It's like,
Yeah.
my wife's dead. If
Yeah.
anyone was supposed to kill her,
It
I was
was
supposed to
me.
kill her.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to probably still get blamed and charged for this. And I had nothing to do with it.
Hmm.
So he gets upset. He's like, I'm just going to start shooting at one of you. Pulls out a gun. Ali Larder's like, I've got a gun too. Now we're in a
Hmm.
gunfight. Um, No one had shot anyone yet. It wasn't until Tay Diggs, Eddie, thinking he's saving the day, goes and tries to tackle him. Then he starts shooting all over the place.
Yeah,
Luckily, he
not
doesn't hit
smart.
anybody, but he does knock out Price.
Hmm.
I don't know. Could they tie him up? Could they lock him in a room?
I
Could
literally was
they
like, could we have tied him up instead? Could we have just tied him up?
just anything? You know,
Why? Why do we have to put him in that fucking machine in the basement? You
I guess
kidding?
they're like, yeah, I guess there's no room that they could just lock him in. It had to be like,
Just
here's some
tie
giant
him
thing.
up. Like
I
there's
know.
you're in a fucking asylum. There are things to restrain people everywhere.
Do you feel confident that if you had to tie someone up tie someone up enough to like really significantly restrain them,
Hmm.
could you do it? I don't think I could.
Okay, in this situation, like a grown ass man, like
Yeah, like
Jeffrey
tying him to
Rush,
a chair,
like
like
tying him to a chair.
not in the way you're all probably be thinking. Like, no, like you need to, if this person gets loose, he's going to murder you. That's how well you need to tie this
Okay,
person up. Could
well,
you do it?
again, we're in an asylum. There's beds. Could we put him in a bed that has those like little cuff restraints?
True.
That could work. Now, if it, to answer your question though, if there was like rope, no, I could not restrain a full-grown man to a chair to protect myself. But there are three other men here. There's three still living men.
I think what I would do is take like, a piece of like the broken wall, break one of his kneecaps, and say like, I don't know, it was just he was like he fell.
Or shoot him in
I
the
don't know.
foot.
Yeah, you don't want him to bleed out though. And
Hmm.
then you got to think about that. Even like a shot to
Yeah,
the
I guess you
foot.
have the whole night. I was gonna say you can shoot out his kneecaps.
And clearly they don't have
Painful
any
as
sort
fuck.
of like actual like first aid kits or medical materials because when Pritchard cuts his hand trying to get out
Oh, he
earlier when he
uses like
breaks the
alcohol
window.
and just like a those
Yeah,
cloth
just
napkins.
yeah, just like a napkin and it's just some like vodka. And I'm like, do you all not have like a first aid kit? Do you all not have a bathroom in this house when you were rebuilding this Airbnb? So they put him in this sanatorium. They're like,
No,
this is a
what
good
was it
idea.
called?
Oh,
The
oh, so
fucking
even in my notes, I get it right once and then I get it wrong later. What do you call it? The stabilizer?
I don't even remember already. I forgot the
S
name.
Saturation chamber.
The saturation chamber, of course.
Let's see if I get that right later. So, they're like, okay, well, we're gonna keep looking around.
I can't believe they put him in there.
I know it's so bad.
Even if it wasn't working, still terrifying. What if that door jams?
Blackburn's like, I'll stick around. I'm
Yeah, I'll
fine by
watch him.
myself. Don't even
Yeah.
worry about this.
Yeah.
And so the rest of them were like, okay, well, we're gonna go and just keep just figuring out a way out of this place. We'll see y'all later.
Hey,
Blackburn
Pritchett
stays
does say he
behind.
doesn't like it. He's like, I don't like this
Yeah.
before he leaves.
I wasn't sure if that was just like, I think leaving someone alone means that he'll die because later he's just like, yeah, dude, Blackburn's totally dead.
Yeah.
We would have heard from
He
him
doesn't
by now.
like
He's,
anything of the situation.
yeah. So Blackburn left his own devices. This is when this kind of twist comes out
Hmm.
that Blackburn and Evelyn Price have been having this affair and
Hmm.
are planning to kill Mr. Price in this very convoluted plan, which a lot really needed to work out, and even still feels
Yeah.
like they're really doing a lot more than they need to do. Could they just not like just put something in his drink like over the course
Well,
of like a couple weeks and just there's so many
also,
easy ways to kill your husband,
yeah,
Natalie.
definitely. But also, wouldn't wouldn't you maybe reconsider doing your plan on a different night once you saw like completely different guests? Like I'd be like, whoa, something's fucked here. Like we need to scrap this plan. Who knows what this guy has in store for us?
Yeah, like really just clear communication. I know they're not in a healthy relationship, but her just being like, "Hey, hold on. I don't know who the fuck any of these people are." And then him going, "Yeah, okay. So I was gonna fuck with you and change.
Yeah.
Okay. Redo. Redo everybody. hey, we just gonna
Can't party canceled.
party canceled. Let's get out of here. Let's all work together.
Yeah.
Yes, was I trying to pull a funny one, changing up the guest list? Yes, but these are not the people. So if you don't know these people and I don't know these people,
How the fuck they get here? Who are they? Can we trust them? Are they gonna murder us?
movie done in 3 minutes. Easy.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you could just murder both of them and take those fucking checks made to cash.
Easy. So yeah, he already wrote him out. Yeah, as soon as he wrote those
Yeah.
checks, I'm like, hey man, you're signing. That's your fucking
Yeah,
death
you're
wish, dude.
signing your fucking death certificate right there.
Yeah, dude. 5 times over. Um, so Blackburn's a dick, and he's like, well, whoops. What does
Whoopsie
this do? It's like
daisy.
Casey Jones at the end of the first Ninja Turtles movie. And it's really fucked up when you think about it. When Shredder falls into the back of that garbage truck and he's like, oh,
hmm
whoops. Just turns that on. That should have killed him a lot.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, him showing up in the second one, I was like, what the fuck? This is
Yep.
impossible, even as a kid.
Yep.
Then this is you've got so you kind of go back and forth between Price's experience in this machine, in the
hmm
saturation machine,
Which
and
is real
then
fun.
Eddie and Sarah, who are looking around and then wander into Vanikit's office. This is where they're going to find out some aha moments here. But
Yeah.
this, like, hold on, what were these goggles for and the handlebar to hold on to? Was it just like, if shit
I
gets too crazy, put on these goggles kind of situation?
Yes, but I think that that's a trick and it actually makes it worse. But also, okay, if you're in that saturation chamber, could you not just curl yourself up on the ground in the middle, close your eyes, cover your face, and then if you don't see it, like, wouldn't that help?
I would think so,
Like,
right?
you'd think you'd still hear some shit, but at least you wouldn't be like, I don't know, dizzy, like ready to pass out, like Price was.
What do you call those like spinning things that like are like a bunch of singular images, but they spin around and then like makes it look like the horse is running? You know what I mean?
Oh, like in Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like the little bird thing.
Kind of.
He says the name of it, but I don't remember what it is.
And so this whole thing where it's like, like a little bit of circus music, a little bit of
Yeah.
um naked women, of course, spitting
Naturally.
blood and turning into mouth faces. Again, dribbling. I don't think it's like a basketball, it's some sort of ball, but
hmm
and tossing that around.
Yeah.
Evelyn's in there for a minute. So he just starts going crazy. And then so he's pretty and then he doesn't die in there.
No.
But Blackburn's like, I'm gonna let him cook for a little bit. And
Yeah.
he's gonna walk over, do his doctor thing, and then bring Evelyn back to life in the other room.
hmm
Which then you find out that this was some elaborate ruse from them with it's so weird with like all the stuff that like she isn't planning for. And she even still thinks that Bridget Wilson is still alive,
That she
possibly.
could be. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would have been like, we just need to do this a different day. He's being way too fucking weird.
Yeah.
Let's just,
Absolutely.
can we just hire someone to kill him?
Yeah. And he's got that weird, like, I don't know if she's already alive yet. I'm like, is this like a necrophilia moment?
Ooh,
Is it a sexual
doesn't feel
assault moment? Like, is she awake? Because she wakes up like right in that moment. So I'm just like, what is happening?
that did not feel good under any of those scenarios.
I tried to list everything.
So Eddie and Sarah, like I said, they find Vanikit's office. This is where they find, a portrait of all these staff
hmm
that were there that year. They start noticing the last names of 5 of those staff.
Uh-oh.
You know, Baker, I think, is one of them. Pritchett, probably.
hmm
Um, Marr, which I think is
hmm
Melissa's last name.
Yeah.
I forget the other ones, but you
Jensen.
find out Jensen, right, right.
hmm
Jennifer Jensen. Obviously, real name,
Obviously.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Jensen. And it just runs in with Jennifer Jolie that also sounds horrendously
Yeah.
fucking fake.
Yeah. But that
But
was
that's
admittedly a fake
intentional.
name. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Yeah, but her fake name was like also like a double J, like Judy Jorgenstein or something.
Judy Jurgensen, I think.
Yeah, which is also fucking is just eye roll bad. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I love Parker Posey. Have you been watching, I don't know, the new season of White Lotus? She's of course a
I have
marvel.
not, but now that she's in it, I kind of want to watch it. Yeah.
Highly recommend. Um, so they see the staff, they realize that that's why they're there, that the house must have logged on through
To
its
an
diet.
online computer.
Yeah, to an online computer. I love again, right? We're before the cusp of the millennium. So
Uh-huh.
internet was a weird thing for us.
Yeah.
Or the way that movies understood it too. So I don't understand why Pritchett has to slut shame the house, calling it a whore. But he says he logged on through Price's internet,
Hey,
gets
it's
on,
a
and is
house.
somehow able to change the guest list. And then here we are. That's the reason why they're all there.
There's before they enter this room, there's a really good example of how bad the dialogue is in this movie, and I had to point it out because I think it's so funny. And every time I watch this movie, I forget about this line exchange, and then I hear it, and I just think it's so funny. Eddie says, "I think we should have taken a right back there." And Sarah says, "Back where?" And then Eddie responds, "Damn it, good point." I just think that's the dumbest thing, and it's a perfect encapsulation of just why, why.
Yeah, these people are all pretty exhausting. If they all died, I'd be perfectly happy with it too.
Yeah, no, I would have been fine with everybody not making it out.
You knew Ali Larter was going to live because for some reason, um,
They just follow
Evelyn
her.
calls her Evelyn calls her the Virgin.
Oh, she does?
Remember that?
Oh,
Yeah. So I was like, how would she know that? That's weird. And then also like probably not. And then two,
yeah. I doubt it at her age, looking like she does.
this is like her probably like her third movie behind Varsity Blues, Final Destination, and this.
Hmm.
Good for her. I like Ali Larter.
Yeah.
So, why am I get so defensive about it? It's because I felt like I
Oh.
misrepresented my appreciation for her.
Oh.
So, Evelyn's brought back to life. They've got their whole plan. Basically they've got fuck. Okay, let me get this straight. They've got Price inside this sanatorium or whatever it's
Saturation
called,
chamber.
saturation chamber, whatever. Um, he's gonna pop out acting all weird.
Hmm.
As far as everyone else is concerned, Evelyn's dead.
Hmm.
They need to feel threatened enough to want to kill Price. So they're trying to
Hmm.
set up that Price killed Evelyn. So then they shoot and kill Price.
Yeah.
Either,
Very complicated.
Pritchard or Eddie or Sarah, whatever.
Hmm.
So their hands are technically clean. They didn't kill anybody.
Hmm.
And then who knows whatever happened to Bridget Wilson.
Yeah.
Am I getting all this right?
Yep. You got it.
So Evelyn's like, we got to make them like feel real threatened, right? Gives
Hmm.
them and then pulls out a little knife and just pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
Fucking
She
kills him right
wasn't
there.
she wasn't worried about her fingerprints being on that scalpel?
Yeah. So like she's the first like human to kill another person in this
The
who's
only
like
one.
actually murdered somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess good point. Everyone else is killed by the house.
Hmm.
So that's probably why Blackburn isn't one of the ghosts at the end, right?
He is.
Oh, is he? Oh, well,
Hmm.
that's bullshit.
I mean, you
I don't
just
feel
you
like the
die in
house.
there.
I feel like the house needs to take credit for it. Like they need to, because how the house
They have
kills
to do the
people,
work.
they pull you into the house and then like absorb you into the house.
It's true.
So like maybe if you saw his body get like absorbed like that after the fact, after he was killed,
Could
then
absorb
maybe
his
I'd say okay.
soul.
I okay. How?
I don't know. I'm not
With
the
its
fucking
little
house. Don't ask me the logistics.
I'm just saying, okay, whatever. It's lower on my annoyance
We
scale.
don't need to know.
So Blackburn's dead. The rest are trying to find him. Of course, like I said
Mm.
earlier, Pritchard's just like, yeah, dude,
He's
he's
dead.
dead. We
Yeah,
we would have heard from him at
he's
some point.
absolutely right. Yeah.
Absolutely dead. They open the door of the saturation chamber
Mm.
and find that Jesus Christ, Evelyn didn't only just cut him up a little bit. She
Oh
sawed
yeah.
his fucking head off
She
on her
sure
own.
did. Yeah.
And maybe the rest of the
Stuck it
body got up
onto
in there.
that door. Like I think it's actually like she shoved it onto the door to like hold the head
Yeah.
because the body falls, but the
Right,
head is
right.
still like kind of perched on the
It's
door.
fucked up.
Yeah. She's pretty sick.
That was a good head. That is a better looking
Yeah.
head than Jeffrey Rush's
Oh yeah, in the when
in his weird
she's
dream.
like holding it like a ball.
So Sarah starts hearing this crying woman sound right after they found Blackburn's
Hmm.
head and body. She starts hearing the sound. She starts following it. I don't know if she thinks that it's Melissa,
She thinks it's
likely,
Melissa because she's calling
right?
out to her.
Yeah. And then she goes, only to find out it's not Melissa, it is Jeffrey Rush. Not doing the voice. It's just like the ghosts are doing the voice.
I
But
thought
he
that it
just pops
was
out.
Evelyn doing the voice.
I think it's the ghosts. I think it's the house
Really?
doing it. Now that they've
Oh.
like absorbed Melissa and her
Oh, yeah,
essence.
that's true. I guess
Yeah.
they could have done that. Yeah.
So he's acting all strange. He's like, 'cause, I mean, he just got saturationized, right?
He got saturation chambered.
Yeah. Saturated, right? So he's acting weird. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I can't explain. All I can do is just start coming towards you. I just can't stop doing it. I just have to
I
keep
know. If he like, can you
being
stand
threatening.
still? Can you stand
Yeah.
still? Like
Lean
that would
back
have
and
been
say,
great.
hey, don't shoot me.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a mess. Like just give me a minute. Don't shoot me, please.
so I do
Would you
not
just
blame. Uh-huh.
but would you just have assumed that he killed Blackburn with all the crazy shit that's been going on in this house? Even though he was like in the saturation chamber, would you think that Price did it?
Yeah.
You
I think,
would?
yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's the most logical explanation, but like not to the point where I would need more answers to shoot him to death.
Well, okay. I would have loved to have the time to ask more questions, but if he just like keeps kind of like lurching towards me and refusing to fucking stop, like the first thing you need to do before I ask
That's true.
questions
That's
is
why I don't give out
stop.
guns to
You
everybody.
need to fucking stop right
Yeah.
now. Um, so okay, this is you could have had an opportunity to answer questions and make this a safer situation for yourself, but no. So Allie Larder, hey, I don't blame her, just fucking unloads a clip into him.
Mm. Yeah, she really does.
That's a good bulletproof vest
Yeah.
to handle all of that.
She must have shot him what, like 5 times?
And then he saw like blood coming out. So I'm like,
I mean, it could have still like gotten him a little bit
yeah.
since she did shoot him so many times in the vest.
Eddie, of course, comes too late and just keeps calling her baby girl.
Yeah.
Stop it, Eddie.
Yeah.
It's not the time.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
And while
Do
she's
not,
all traumatized, because now if y'all end up hooking up, you can never call her baby girl.
right? So it's just like you are so traumatized. You just fucking, yeah, again, just murdered your first person and
Yeah.
he's gonna infantilize you. Like, oh my gosh, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
She'll shoot you next.
I know. So it's like, come on, baby girl. Don't look at that. Don't even worry about it. Let's go. Come on, let's go. It just kind of escorts her away with Pritchard. So they go into the next room, and then of course Evelyn, who's still alive, follows in. Looks at Price's body on the ground and is just like, I hated you, you stupid fuck.
Yeah, she's like,
I just
I
loved your fucking money
yeah,
from
did
day
not give
one.
a shit about you.
So she was just straight up like, and this is where it flips, where it's just like, okay, she's evil. He's just kind of an eccentric weirdo, but he's also mean to her. But
He is, but, and I thought that you would bring this up. So there's that scene in the bedroom earlier where she's, getting, getting ready to take a bath or whatever she's doing in the mirror. And he grabs her like by the ponytail, like, and, you know, very, very much
Mm,
abusive.
ugh.
But this is after he mentioned twice of her trying to murder him. So at that point, like, we're already at like the two of you are physically assaulting each other or trying to murder each other already. So, like, at that
Right.
point, I'm like, like, you're both kind of pieces of shit, but she's worse because he doesn't actually try to kill her at any point.
Yeah, right. He's still just ultimately just trying to have fun.
Yeah, like he's just trying to have a good time, pretended to kill his wife and shit, and she just took the game too far.
You imagine the marriage counselor is just like, do something special for her. Maybe like, like role play, do something fun. What does she
Yeah.
like?
She
Haunted
likes
ass
murder.
asylums. Okay. Maybe do something fun, blah, 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 and hey,
Throw her a party.
we're scheduled to meet next Thursday. Let me know how it goes. And we'll just take it from there. I would take that to the grave if I was their therapist. I'd be like, I did not suggest shit.
I did not recommend anything. They didn't even show up to that last appointment.
I don't even know who these people are. But just kidding, he's alive.
I'm pissed.
And pissed, dude. This is when like he starts like really just like trying to beat the shit out of her, which is
Yeah.
but
We're in a
what do
life or
you
death now. Like,
yeah, now you're in a life or death situation. I'm
yeah,
sorry, Natalie. I'm sorry.
it,
I'm gonna kick you straight in the fucking head
yeah,
if you
no,
came at me.
absolutely. Like, I think that once you get to this point, gender, relationship status, none of that matters. Like, you're going fucking toe to toe.
They start fighting. He like throws her through a wall that
He
like
does throw her through a wall. Yeah, he goes pretty hard.
yeah. Yeah, like it's fucking like they fucking again Fast and the Furious, like it's fucking Vin Diesel and The Rock just throwing each other through walls and shit. Like the goddamn
And
fucking
she's still conscious.
oh, she's still conscious. Makes it through. Unless it was one of those like phony walls that they were gonna like
I
have
think
like blow up as part of the thing, but I don't know.
it
I think the
looked
ghost
like
set it up.
well, I think that that wall was already breaking down over time
Yeah.
because it's like they showed it earlier and like the ghost blob or whatever the fuck that thing is was like trying to leak through and there was like some blood kind of like coming through too. So that wall was
Mm,
already corroded. Like you
yeah.
probably could have flicked it and it would have crumbled to pieces.
And then she sees this like she sees this like magnet dust. It reminds me of those like
Oh yeah. Yeah, where you take the
right?
magnet and all the little pieces like follow it and you can
He-
yeah, it
Right. It
does
was
look like that.
like a ghost with a little magnet just kind of like walks across and it starts
Hmm.
lifting it all of it up, right? And so
Yeah.
like ghosts are like magnet dust and they're also
Yeah.
like gooey
Oil, flying
oil
oil
tentacly.
spills.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. This is the
so
first
she's
time
def
they realize that like something supernatural is going on.
which breaks from the original because I it was hinted
Hmm.
at, but there's nothing
Yeah.
supernatural, obviously supernatural in that movie.
Hmm.
Um and which I've only seen once, and that was a long time ago with
I've never
Vincent
seen
Price.
it, but I know everything that happens in it because I've read things like comparing the two.
Mm. So she's real fucking dead. Like that like
Hmm.
picks her up and like pulls her into the wall, absorbs her, and like
Yeah.
yeah, she says some shit at the end. I forget, and she's just dead. She's real dead. Um, so clearly Price being pretty panicked is like, this can't get worse. Turns around, finds this display case with all the bits of Melissa. Like,
I love it.
yeah, like it's this like science
That's
display of
super,
all of her body
uh-huh.
parts and then her head.
So
It's pretty
fun.
good. Yeah. So ghost form or the ghost goo, sorry, takes the form of Evelyn and starts chasing after Price.
Ugh. And it looks
He's
so bad. I feel like it even looked bad in 99.
yeah. So he runs upstairs, of course, as the door's closed. He's pounding on the door, being like, let me in, let me in, let
Hmm.
me in, or let me out, rather. like Clue. And you have Pritchard, Eddie, and Sarah who are still trying to like pry some windows open. They hear him. They're like, "Fuck, do we?
Well,
We
also, they're
do."
like, he's supposed to be dead. I would not be
Yeah,
opening that door.
especially when you knew that there was like supernatural things afoot. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's a fucking ghost trying to trick us into opening that door. Nobody touched that door.
Yeah, dude, like we need a cool down period. We're gonna have to wait at least
Hmm.
15 minutes before I decide
Yeah.
whether or not to open that door.
Yep.
So,
Go back to the bar,
yeah,
figure out what we're doing.
and then I'll come back and think about it.
Yeah.
Um, Pritchard, I think trying to be the nice guy at heart, I think, goes and opens the door to get out of the way, and then you've got the ghost goo that grabs Pritchard and then pulls him in. Pritchard's dead.
Hmm.
So long, Chris Kattan, or at least you hope you thought
For now.
for now. Ah, he's fine. I just like I wish they gave him better material, but he kind of maybe does the best he can.
I think he's giving it energy at least. Like,
Not that not and I hate to compare him, but the similar characters, but not the Matthew Lillard energy though,
well, no, I mean that's a really high bar, Kyle. Jeez.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eddie and Sarah run off. Price is still kind of like wandering around being like, what do I do? What do I do? How do I
Hmm.
shut off this mechanism? Is there anything I can do? He, well, again, yeah, I guess finally he realizes this shit's real because I'm like, why didn't he could have said the entire time, like, oh yeah, hey, you're all fucking downstairs and in the basement and shit, so
Hmm.
you want to override the security thing, it's upstairs. But
But I don't think
no,
he
but
knew that.
are you sure? How did he just wander all the way back upstairs then? Or was he
Well,
just,
he like announced like that it was in the attic, but I don't think he knew that the whole time.
when did he learn it then?
I don't know. I mean, maybe okay, maybe he did, but I guess
Either
yeah,
way.
if he didn't actually think anything supernatural was going on and it was just like a little murder party, he's like, fuck it, save some people get murdered,
Yeah.
unlock
So
that thing in the morning.
he's able to, you know, muscle this thing enough to start opening up all the windows and shit. You see all the
Hmm.
sunlight coming in. It's the next morning. Um, he's yelling at them. He's like, "Hey, get out. This is your
Yeah.
chance. This is your opportunity, right? Come upstairs. At least I know that there's windows open and this and this and this. Be mindful that this house
It's on
is
a fucking
like
cliff over the ocean.
it also gave me vibes of the Power Rangers command center a little bit.
Yeah, the shape of it.
Yeah, that really like is that
Concrete.
is that brutalist? I don't know. I'm not
Yeah,
an architect.
I mean it could, yeah, it could be.
So um so they run upstairs, they're running from the ghost goo dust that's chasing them. Um the windows open, Ali Larder is able to jump out. Jeffrey Rush, at least his last act was trying to save them. He
Hmm.
gets eaten and swallowed up by this ghost.
I thought his death was kind of fun, the way that like he's like frozen, like as
Yeah,
just like ash, and then he dissolves in the wind. That was kind of fun.
yeah. I wasn't sure if he became like more ghost magnet dust or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's able to get outside right before Tay Diggs is able to get out. The thing shuts again. The ghosts come up to him. They're taken. It's at this point they've taken the form of a couple of them. I think at some point
Hmm.
like Melissa is saying something as the ghost to Sarah,
I know, like
et
they're
cetera,
best
et
friends.
cetera.
They just met that fucking day. Like,
Yeah,
get out of here.
yeah, right. This is also when Tay Diggs says like, "Hey, by the way, I'm adopted." I wasn't sure if he was just trying to say that.
No, I mean, no, we did not see one black person in that flashback.
That is
So
true.
there's that. But also, I mean, that feels like if I were the ghost, I'd be like, you know what, that's fair. We don't need
Yeah,
to
I was
kill.
hoping for the ghosts to be like, "Oh, well, okay,"
That
but
seems
it
like a
didn't.
fair loophole.
Yeah, all right. but it didn't stop them from like killing Price, and Price wasn't part of the equation, right? He wasn't a descendant.
He
So I
wasn't?
don't
I
think they
thought
care.
there wasn't. Oh yeah, because that would be too many people.
Yeah, that'd be even more far too convenient than it is already
Mm-hmm.
for any of this to make sense.
Yeah.
But guess who comes and saves us the day? Our boy Chris Kattan. Your boy
Ghost
Chris Kattan,
Pritchett.
rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost Pritchett starts pulling the levers, being like, I got this. Um, Opens up the thing. Tay Diggs is able to get out, closes. We have our final two survivors. They're
Mhm.
gonna make it. Or at least you think so. I don't know.
I don't know
Who's
about
gonna
that
come and save them?
situation. Well, they said that like a cleaning crew or something was coming in the morning, so I would think they could like yell and be like, "Hey, hey, we're up here," and then they find some way to get them out.
I'd do the same thing, be like, I'm gonna wait
I'd be
till the
like, "Give me
police
a
get before.
helicopter because I'm not going back into that house."
I was thinking if I was the cleaning crew, I was like, I'm not letting you in here. I'm not letting you back in here until the police come and then maybe they'll deal with it.
Yeah, that's fair. Hmm.
Right? Be like, you're all staying out on that ledge.
Yeah.
Um, Tay Diggs is like, kick-ass party, huh?
Yeah.
The fuck?
And can we not hold checks out in the wind? Like, what are you all doing? There, like you see the checks like flap almost out of her hands. I'm like, that's the only thing that you've got out of this terrible, traumatizing experience that's positive.
And even then, even with all of this, this eccentric millionaire and his wife are dead under mysterious circumstances at a
Hmm.
party that you allegedly say you were invited to, even though there
That's
is no
true. Oh my gosh.
evidence of this couple ever knowing you or having any relationship with you. Keep in mind, one of them shows up under a false name, right?
Oh
And
shit.
you're going to show up
At the
cashing five
bank?
checks for $1 million each. Yeah,
Ooh.
how is that going to work?
Maybe send a friend.
Yeah, right. So, um, that's the end of our movie.
Yeah, we
That
did it.
that house is not technically on a hill. Would you call that a hill?
Yeah. Well, maybe more of a cliff.
House on haunted cliff, house on haunted seaside.
I never understood why it was house on haunted hill. Like, is the hill haunted and not the house?
Yeah, so I think the whole hill just
If you
even
build
though the
anything on that
fire
hill.
the fire was contained to the house, but maybe there was some spillage. I don't know, so the whole hill gets haunted. I
Hmm.
can't with this movie. Um, did I miss anything?
I don't think so. It's a pretty simple one. Yeah.
I'm almost afraid to ask. What are these taglines?
All right. We've got five taglines.
Okay,
And
that's manageable.
they're actually not that bad. So I'm gonna start with the really lengthy one because those tend to be the stinkers.
Okay.
Six strangers have the chance to make $1 million each. All they have to do is make it through the night alive.
And I
Long,
would
but
watch it.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. If you're in, you may not want to get out.
Why would you not want to get out?
I know, I don't understand that one. That one doesn't make sense at
Ugh,
all.
thumbs
Yeah,
down. Next.
yeah. I think the next three are kind of fun. It's going to be a long night. Pretty simple.
Okay.
Are you dying to be rich? I like that one.
Sure. I get it. Yeah.
Okay. And then my favorite, evil loves to party.
Okay, like that is my favorite. Yes. Up until that point, I actually thought that first one that really over explains it is probably the best one.
Oh, that was your favorite one?
You know,
I don't dislike it. It's fine. They're all fine.
quick question.
Mhm.
If you had to spend one night in the house on Haunted Hill, or the house from 13 Ghosts. Which one?
Ooh, definitely House on Haunted Hill. I feel like your
Yeah.
chances of survival are better.
Because I feel like no one tried like just staying still, you know?
Yeah, I wonder what would have happened if they just stayed in that little lobby area where the ghosts don't really reside. How about you?
Well, I hear you, and I think that house, the challenge is that you just don't know. They don't really explore it a whole lot until the very end, where the ghosts are just kind of making their way through the whole house. The why I would say the 13 Ghost House is they everyone was let loose. Like all these
Mm-hmm.
13 ghosts were let loose due
Mm-hmm.
to someone doing something to let them all out and be fucked up about it,
That's
right?
true.
So if you just literally stood there and did nothing in the 13 Ghost House, you'd be fine. Absolutely fine. Because everyone's in the basement, locked in the cages. It's okay. Whereas I feel like the ghosts from House on Haunted Hill would make their way up to the main foyer and lobby and shit eventually, like they
I
did.
don't I don't know about that because the only time that any evil ends up being in that area is after that fucking cheap ass wall was busted through. That's what released that like all the power, the ghost
I don't
wall.
think that alone. Tell that to Bridget Wilson. They're like, hold on, I didn't bust through any fucking door.
She went down there though, like into like where they reside. That's like their little area because they still want to do their little surgeries and experiments.
Okay, so breaking that one wall gave them the opportunity to go through the rest of the house.
I think so. Yeah, that's
Hmm,
my theory.
that's a theory.
The rules are very loosey-goosey in this.
Yeah. Um, I'll go first with my boo score.
Okay.
Like I said, I've watched this movie. It's somewhere between 5 or 10 times. It's fun. I enjoy none of it, but
What-
it's like I don't know, like if it's on, like I don't care, but
Like
you've got
if you were like at a hotel and you're like flipping through channels and House on Haunted Hill was on, you'd probably leave it.
yeah, 100%. That's true.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it does make me feel a little bad about this boost score. I'm
Oh,
gonna give it a 1.5.
1.5?
Yeah.
Damn.
This
All
movie,
right.
it's I mean, only to compare it to another Dark Castle movie, like yeah, like I mean, I like 13 Ghosts better than this movie. Actually, no. A lot of that was terrible
Mm,
too. 13 Ghosts had a kid, and I fucking hate kids.
yeah, I
Um,
think House of Wax is the winner out of the three.
100%. So you know what? Fine, I'll give it a 2.
Okay.
How about you?
I definitely am warmer to this movie than you are, but I think the hotel test is like a very good gauge of whether or not you have a good time watching a movie, even if it's a background movie, because it's definitely a background movie for me now.
We should start asking each other that going forward.
Would you stop? Would you leave it on if it just popped up on the cable TV on the hotel? Yeah, I agree. We can add that. I think this movie is very rewatchable in the way that I have rewatched it many times and I think it's kind of just silly and fun. Even some of the half-ass acting, the not so great lines. I just like the silliness of it. It's got a great cast. It's perfectly 90s. Like they really captured the 90s even though it was like kind of we were coming into the early 2000s. And I think it has some fun scares. Like, I remember watching it the first time as a kid and it being a little bit scary for me. Even Jeffrey Combs, especially, like the way he looks up at the camera and everything, I think he's pretty creepy. So I'm gonna give it a very generous 3 boos.
Okay, that's acceptable. I was like almost like bracing for you to say like 4 or some shit, and I'd be like, Natalie, you need to stop.
I think 4 is too high because of the quality of movie. Like I didn't say it was a good movie. And I wouldn't recommend it to anybody unless they watched it as a kid and were like, "Oh, I haven't watched that in a while." I'd be like, "Oh, you should rewatch it." But if you hadn't watched it in that time, I don't know that you'd have an appreciation for this movie.
That's all I got on House on Haunted Hill, the 1999 remake. Anything else you'd like to share?
No, that's it. We said it all.
Um, don't crash parties. What are you doing?
Even if there's $1 million checks involved.
Yeah, well, I'm singing like Ali Larter's cage. So like, don't. Yeah, I mean, maybe she thought this would be her way out, but yeah, again, nothing about her story makes any sense to me.
Oh no, it definitely doesn't. I think that's the other thing too. This movie definitely doesn't need to be longer, but could we have cut out some of the dialogue of just Evelyn and Price being catty towards each other back and forth and maybe given us like a little bit more backstory on some of these characters because they all have like kind of an interesting thing going on. It's so vague. It's like one sentence.
You know how much better this movie would be if you added Lisa Loeb and James Marsters to the guest list?
I absolutely agree.
What a
Yeah.
tease.
Yeah, I know. It's a bummer that they're only in this movie for a couple minutes.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Take care. Three, two, one, ghost.
Thanks for listening to our episode on House on Haunted Hill. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe to our podcast and leave us a killer review on whichever platform you choose to listen. You can find us on Instagram at 321 Ghost Pod and give us a follow. We would love to hear from you in the comments. You can shoot an email to 321ghostpod@gmail.com to share any thoughts, questions, or recommend a movie you'd like to hear us cover. Next week, we're going back to the 80s with David Cronenberg's Videodrome. Thanks again for listening, and remember to take some time to reflect. You might be part of the couple making everyone uncomfortable at your party. 3, 2, 1, ghost.